morning. And before I begin, my apologies for being late, and I had a detour I couldn't avoid. So thanks so much, Mr. Batra. I spoke to him for a short while, and then I realized I'm less equipped to talk about entrepreneurship. I'm less equipped to talk about business plan. I'm less equipped to talk about disruptive games because he's done it all, and he's done it so successfully. So before I begin, can I ask for a loud cheer to Mr. Batra for bringing business world where it is. Women, entrepreneurship, growth, and what can be disruptive about that space is what FICCI FLO stands for. And I'm here as its 40th president. A little marketing about FLO, if I'm allowed for a minute or two, is we are part of FICCI, and FICCI is heading towards its 100 years. FICCI was, so it means that we were there before independence. And that's how old the organization is, and that's how proud the heritage is. And Mahatma Gandhi addressed our fourth governing body meeting. FLO is 40 years today, and I'm the 40th president. So we stand to empower women right from 40 years back. We believed in the woman scripting her life. We believed that the woman should helm and be the leader of her own game. So entrepreneurship is in the DNA of the organization, and we are there to support that entrepreneur at all levels. What is an entrepreneur, what is leadership, and how entrepreneurship works is something I think everyone has been talking about for a long time, and I think it is something close to every woman's heart. A woman has really evolved historically from where she was to where she is today, and I think that change is very, very creditable. But what I would like to talk to you today is the disruption. I think what has happened and what is happening and what is going to happen is the relation that we need to acknowledge to go forward. When I say disruption, I mean emergence of a new opportunity, emergence of a sunrise understanding, which is care economy. Care is something very, very close to all our hearts. Care has always been associated with the love and the affection we got from our mothers, from our grandmothers. And it was so synonym to our everyday growth and living that we didn't factor the role that they played in our lives. But as joint families are breaking down into nuclear setups that we are living in today, the role they played is moving towards paid care. So there is a shift from unpaid care to paid care. And ILO recognizes this as an opportunity. ILO recognizes this as an economy. And ILO recognizes this as a space worth $17 trillion. So there is a scope for huge entrepreneurship there. And I would like to talk about that here and leave those messages with you today. So all of you, all the women here in the audience, all the men who support the women here in the audience, understand that the future, the future where unpaid care is replaced with paid care is there for stay. I'll just explain unpaid care. Unpaid care is the work the woman does at home. And even if you're a working woman, statistics say that a working woman spends 80% of her time in unpaid care relative to a man who spends about 20% of the same time. So unpaid care, if quantified, I'm quoting UN Women to say that unpaid care, if quantified and if supported effectively, will contribute to anything between 6 to 10% of GDP. We are today in a situation where GDP of countries are either stagnant or going down or going up very, very marginally. So every country is working hard to push that GDP up. So the easiest way is to tap this unpaid care sector or quantifying the paid care sector. So how do you quantify the unpaid care? How do you quantify your mom cooking for you? How do you quantify you coming back from office and handling your household chores? So it is done either on a replacement basis or on an opportunity loss basis. So on an opportunity loss basis, see, you look at a nuclear home where a husband, wife, and 2 children is what the nest is. And the husband, wife, if they have their couple goals. If they've had a scooter, they go towards a car. If they've had a car, they look for a car for both. They look for a home to live. They like their children to go to good universities. So their goals are set. If a parent falls sick and joins them, say with an Alzheimer's, who takes the break and stays back at home? It inevitably falls on the woman. So there is an opportunity loss that is calculated. This opportunity loss translates to 6.5% of the economy. It is a large contribution, and that is why the role the woman plays is very, very crucial. As an entrepreneur, what is the opportunity you have there today is twofold. This opens up an opportunity for institutionalizing the care. This opens up the opportunity for entrepreneurs to find a place there. It opens up an opportunity for creating millions of job opportunities. This also opens up an opportunity for insurance. This opens up an opportunity for upskilling, reskilling, and whatever other jargons you want to add up to. So as an entrepreneur, I think we always look for some new ideas, be it a startup or be it a regular business opportunity. So as women, I think there are several situations that one can open up their minds to with technology and with transformation in the air. When I just walked in, I heard about mentorship. Mentorship is a huge role that all of us should take care of. I'll just walk you through a very small example of the path of an entrepreneur and how Flow has played a role in it. And I'm sure all of you would have understood some part of it in your own journeys. You look at a small masala wala, a lady making masalas in a house. So she's a homepreneur. She makes masalas and sells it around her. She gets successful, and she's told that, why don't you move beyond your village? So she makes she makes some more, and then she goes a little beyond. So she becomes a real good one at that, and she now has tasted money. Nothing like financial independence, financial support, nothing like the crisp rupee coming home to motivate you. So she stays motivated. She's beginning her journey as an entrepreneur. She says she stays motivated and she wants to move bigger. So how does she move bigger? Now she says, I need machines. So where does she go for machines? She has to find money. So she finds money and she gets machines, possibly a mudra loan, where you don't need collateral security, and she moves forward. Now making money, she's getting a little bigger. Now she needs to manage her finances. As a small woman from a village, that's her pond. She needs to look beyond that pond. Now how does she look beyond that pond when she doesn't know? There is nobody in the environment to teach her. So what you need there is mentorship. What you need there is to help her understand that marketing of her product, which is successful, is important. Mentoring her is very important. And moving up the scale as an entrepreneur is very important. And so mentorship becomes a necessity. So she has mentorship from somebody. She builds her business plan, makes more masala, and becomes bigger. Now she wants to expand her geography. She's been told about online. She's been told about marketing. So, every facet of management is brought to her, supported for her, and she understands the business. She understands that the business of business is in business, and she moves forward. This journey is not typical of a masala wala, it's typical of many women, unless they have inherited an opportunity from their heritage. So the path the woman takes involves financial planning, manpower planning, marketing, understanding branding, understanding laws, understanding everything else. So I would honestly think for an entrepreneur to grow, you really need a very strong mentor, a mentor who can be honest and who can guide you through this process. So, instead of me talking and all of you listening, I would love to have an interactive session where you can ask me questions. And I'm looking at blank faces and I really don't know what is the topic I must talk next. So if you're interested in asking me any questions, just feel free. Thanks so much for being a lovely audience. And it was a pleasure talking to you, greater pleasure interacting with you. And wish you the best. And may we have more successful entrepreneurs from you, and may we have you generate more employment. Let's look forward to Viksit Bharat 2047. Jai Hind.